Peace to the Seeds, peace to Malikas, Shakas, Kings and Queens, and all the viewers. You are now watching the Spearz and Micz podcast. Um, we have special guests. We have from the Omega Zulus in Minnesota, we have brother Mike One and his queen. And
Yeah, what up?
Yeah, welcome
Hey,
to Spears
peace,
and Mike's,
peace.
y'all.
peace.
Peace.
Um,
Appreciate y'all time and
Yes.
energy.
you
Thanks
know
for
the
Yes.
having
regular host.
us.
No problem. You know the regular host, brother Watt Slice from Chapter 7,
Peace.
Shaka Zulu King L1 from Chapter 25, and yours truly, Zulu King Razor from Chapter 7. Peace, everyone.
Yeah,
Peace.
thank you for coming on. We wanted to get an episode with y'all and talk about Omega Zulu in its current state, what y'all got going on out there in Minnesota. Um, and talk about, what y'all been doing. Like I know like when we have the Zulu Union builds, we have the meetings, y'all talk about the garden. I know y'all be in the shop. So I know y'all doing a lot of things, and I just wanted to see like learn a little bit more about y'all and present y'all work and y'all energy to the world, you know. So
Yeah.
Queen, introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself, like where you from originally,
Okay.
like are you from Minnesota or were you out somewhere before that?
No, not originally. I'm a migrant or a transplant to Minnesota by way of Boston, Massachusetts. My
Oh,
name
okay.
is
Oh, okay.
Queen. I'm a generational urban farmer, an accountant, a distance runner, and a spoken word artist and an MC. So
That's
Dope.
Okay.
dope.
that's
Dope.
me in a capsule. I'm also a mother of two. Yeah, rising
That's the
stars out there.
that's the most important thing you said right there, the mother, right? That's the biggest duty and the
Mhm.
greatest duty of them all.
Yep.
That's peace.
Yeah.
That's peace. You wear a
Comes
lot of hats
first.
though, sis. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff you
Definitely.
dropped. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Boston to
Mike.
yep, Mike One. Introduce yourself too, brother.
Yeah, Mike One. Originally from Chicago. Omega Zulu president. She the treasurer. She didn't say she was the treasurer, but she our
That's
treasurer. I'm an MC. I'm an MC, photographer. I'm a DJ. We're on the radio, KRSM, 98.9 radio. Uh,
what slot? What time slot y'all on?
we on from 9 to 11 on Monday nights, and it's called
That's
Black
dope.
Love Is on KRSM radio on the app.
That's dope.
I'm a father of one and two by so father of three by way of queen with two. Um, I'm a loctician primarily,
Mhm. How long you
and
been doing that for?
I've been doing locks professionally since 2008.
Hmm.
And I pretty much have my own space, my own business since 2019 before COVID.
That's a
And I'm
crazy
also a
time to get into
statistician.
business.
Yeah. I went to school for statistics and history, so that's what I got my bachelor's in. That's really what brought me out here to Minnesota.
Okay. How long is the process to get the degree?
What'd you say?
How long is your process to get the degree?
Uh,
Was you a double
it took
major?
me, yeah, I double major, so it was about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, statistics and history, 5 years.
That's dope.
Yeah, this is DJ Green Thumb.
And
Is that his DJ name for real?
yeah, I'm
Well,
also a urban, I'm also an urban farmer.
And he
yeah.
goes by Mike the Tiller.
Mike the
Well,
Teller. That's fire.
Hmm.
That's fire.
man, y'all got a lot going on though. I don't
Word.
know, like me, I just be like, Yeah, I'm a father and a Zulu. Like to me, that's enough. Like I don't even have time to be nothing else. Y'all juggling all these different things, businesses and all of this, like the seeds and radio shows and the garden and the farming and all of that. It's like, wow, that's incredible,
But it's always
you
good that you're
know?
doing what you love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It all connects. It all connects, you know. It all connects. I feel like it doesn't seem like you're doing like different things because um like the radio is so powerful and we want to maintain that slot because
Yeah,
you're on a platform anybody can tune in from anywhere, and when you're riding in the car and stuff, but it's an important outlet to give people in your community a voice, a platform if they have something that they want to speak on, um uplift their business or something like that. um, yeah, or if you're talking about a particular topic, you want to have a discussion, like it's a good opportunity to be able to share people's voices like that. It gives them a little bit of power. So
absolutely. Giving people a platform, giving people a voice, and then just interacting with the people is it's a beautiful thing, sharing energy, because that energy is powerful and it's influential. And sometimes messages and words can heal people. Like someone might be talking about something that they're going through, and that might be something that you've experienced or Mike One has experienced, or maybe another caller, another listener, and we all start to relate into each other, healing each other, listening to this powerful, the voice is powerful. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, I
he
think,
puts
hmm
together a really dope playlist too.
well,
That Yeah, and your playlist can still be accessed through Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't if you miss an episode, or if you just want to run the playlist from the radio show, he has it on his Spotify.
And
yeah, I don't
that's
have
under
Spotify. I got Apple Music. Y'all don't got nothing like on Apple Music?
Not yet.
Hold on, I gotta go check her
and
because it's
is that under
been
DJ Green Thumb?
20 minutes and
Nah, it's my government name. Spotify is under my government name.
Okay,
Okay.
Michael Kuykendall.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
Uh,
that crazy. I got a crazy government name.
I
So
feel you.
so how did you become a member of the Zulu Union?
I would say at first I didn't know that it existed in Minnesota. It was kind of like I was surprised when I started seeing Reyes, with the chains, and I didn't know that type of culture existed here. Uh, but I found out through the Reyes was doing a Jay Dilla uh, tribute, and I was a
Mhm.
part of that. And once I started working on the Jay Dilla tribute, I guess I kind of got introduced to Omega Zulu, and I wanted to be a part of it.
So
Yeah, that was probably like 2017. Yeah, about 2017, 2016, 17 is when I kind of found out about
Yeah,
Omega Zulu and Zulu Union. Yeah,
mhm.
that's actually the first year that we organized the movement because 2016, we were like still figuring it out within the Universal Zulu Nation, and then you know early 2017, the chapters agreed that we were gonna move on and organize the Zulu Union. So you kind of came in at the very, very beginning. So that's dope.
How
oh,
long you
yeah.
been inside the press?
I'm on my third year now.
Wow, time flies. Feel like the other
Yeah.
day,
Yeah,
Reyes told me that, you were taking over the chapter. And
yeah.
Shout out to Zulu King Reyes. I got a lot of love for the brother, man. He's a tremendous soul. He has a lot of love in his heart for y'all, for Omega Zulu, for hip hop culture, for the people. And it's rare to come across like brothers and sisters that are so humble, so genuine, and so dedicated to the people and dedicated to the culture. I always feel like if there was more Reyeses, like the world would be a better place. I really, really feel that way. You know, he's a solid brother.
Yeah, yeah, he had definitely a
He
lot.
stood in the gap for this chapter to still be around today
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the midst of the challenges and the passing away of phase 2. Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
When I get Reyes and Stepchild, because we're gonna kind of like revisit everything with Stepchild and Reyes. We're gonna go into the a little bit more in depth to the history on and what took place years back.
mhm.
They'll talk about the then and the formation, and we're just gonna talk about the now and where we going with the chapter. I think that y'all are doing an incredible job uh as leaders. And I think y'all doing an incredible job as a chapter, top to bottom. I think the members that I see coming in to Omega Zulu are very fine members, people that seem genuine to the organization, genuine to the culture. They seem to be workers, doers, thinkers, and that's the type of energy that we need in this family. So just
Yeah,
keep up,
peace.
keep up on that path.
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. A lot of the recruiting come from my clients,
Oh, that's
people that
dope.
I've been,
That's fire.
people that I know.
Right,
Mm.
So we it's already trust and people that want to support. You know.
right, right, definitely.
So you mentioned your clients. So
Yeah,
what do
we
you?
definitely. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we work hard as a chapter. We're a smaller chapter, but people, like, we show up and we, make our plans and we see them all the way through, regardless if we have all the resources or not. We just pull together, and that's one thing I admire the most is like where everybody is doing other things at the same time, but also putting in the time and um, pooling in resources to get things done. And that's what I see happening within this chapter. And if we continue to do that, I know, we can keep this momentum going and then really have a really good impact with the community and some youth soon. So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I
hats
think
off to our chapter. Working really hard.
definitely. Razor, you wanted to say something, right? I don't want to break your wisdom.
Yeah, I was just wanted to point out. You said you had clients, and prior to us starting our show, you mentioned
Yeah,
that you had your shop. So can you elaborate on your shop and tell us the name and how long you've been running it?
Yeah, my shop is called From the Roots. Um, I've been in business since the end of 2019, right before COVID. It was actually scary because they were starting to shut down businesses
Hmm.
um, because of the COVID. But I was able to still stay active during that time and kind of my storefront says beer dabbler on the front. I never changed anything. It was still like I had just moved in, so I didn't get to change my storefront or nothing like that. So here they were saying liquor stores and beer was a necessity. What term did they use? It was something that they didn't close down. So I just kind of kept my stuff there, so nobody really came harassing me about closing. And I just
That's
kept
dope.
everything. I kept everything clean and but I've been doing locks in the Twin Cities since 2008. A lot of people that I've done their hair, they were teenagers and kids, and now they're like adults. It's
Wow.
crazy to see that, you know. Um, but I've been doing this professionally since 2008
That's
in the
dope.
Twin Cities. But we do different things in our shop. Um, we use my shop as the headquarters for Omega Zulu, and we do panel discussions for certain times of the year, like Hip Hop Appreciation Week in May. We'll do a hip hop panel based off the topic. One time we did one on breakdancing. This year we're focusing on graffiti. We did a panel discussion on DJing, right?
Mhm.
We did a break in, and we get some chairs, we get the panel, we get different people to come up and talk. We do back to school, school supply drives for the kids in August for the anniversary of hip hop. So we invite people that need school supplies to come to the shop and pick up, school supplies before school start. Um, the most recent thing that we're getting ready to do is a sip and paint, but we'll have like cold pressed juice, and we customize in sneakers with it. So
Wow.
you bring your own shoes and you get to customize your shoes, and we have like an artist
Hmm.
lead the sip and paint, and we just have all the tools to customize our own shoes, different colors and designs and stuff like that. So that's some of the things that we do in the shop outside of me doing all the fancy styles and stuff that people ask me to do. Because I think I'm one of the top stylists in the city, I guess.
Nah, man,
Usually the
that's
That's
what.
person
dope.
that does it, can't say it. I'll let Queen tell you.
Good. I believe you. I
I
believe
just the
y'all.
balance, master skills. Let's just say I know two things. He's taken people's clients and he's done someone's hair so well they literally, and I really mean this when I say literally, not as like a cliche or whatever. They literally skipped out of the front door. They're so happy about their
Yeah.
lives. Yeah.
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 Nah,
Good
the
luck.
brother
Good luck.
got people
And,
feeling brand new. It's a
yeah. And then
transformation. It's a
Mike,
transformation.
yeah. And then Mike introduced me to his friend that's like, she's like him, but in the sister lock world. And
Hmm.
then I started training with her and learned and went to like sister lock training school in Milwaukee. And now I'm certified to do sister locks, and so I do sister locks in the shop. And but I originally started out as a braider, just like
Mm.
old school cornrows. Yeah. So,
For
but
the
it's
for the
cool.
people for the people that don't know much about locks, what would y'all say is like the benefits of, someone that is thinking about getting locks, but they like kind of on the fence with it? Like, what would you tell somebody, like, the benefits? Or is it just like a preference style wise? Like, what do y'all feel?
I, this is what I generally tell people in that moment, because it's something that people a lot go back and forth with. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I hear it all the time. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Right? Because it's a
But
commitment.
it's definitely a commitment. But for people that do different things with their hair, a lot of people like to have like diversity. They like to do different styles and stuff with their hair. I hear that a lot. That's a lot of the times why certain women won't do it, because they like to do different things and they don't understand like the culture. Like, you can really do so many different styles when it comes to locks, and it's natural. Um, it's easy to maintain to a certain degree. Some people get them and just forget about them. which
Mm-hmm.
isn't the wisest thing to do. I created this. I haven't dropped it yet, but I created this video called "The 10 Lock Commandments,"
Mm.
and it kind of breaks down the basics of what people need to know about locks. But I would say it, it's something that you have to be sure about because a lot of times people get them and they don't want to go through the phase of like they call it the ugly phase or like the
Mm-hmm.
Starter
early
locks.
stages of locks. Yeah, so the average person don't want to really they want to cheat and get extensions and stuff like that, or they want to wear wigs. But I think that damages the hair long term. Usually people that start their lives, like in my experience, they kind of like older, you know what I mean? The older women, they're the ones that's usually on the fence about it because of culture and how people talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that people just have to make the decision. Like you're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. But once people see like the different styles, then they want to do it. That's
Right.
that's how I
Right.
see. Once they see like the diversity with it, then they do it. If my client right here, her birthday is if she let me show her hair, then y'all see like kind of what I be doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Happy
this
birthday.
gonna be
Happy
a
birthday to your client.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's funny that you
this is
mentioned,
this,
the starting process. I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
now go ahead, I'm listening.
Now, I was saying it's funny how you mentioned the starter process because in the beginning, that was one of my main issues. How long is it going to grow? Is it going to be one of those issues where it's going to get stubborn and it's going to unravel? Does it, stay? Does it stay? Is my hair going to be strong enough to, do it? And funny enough, even with my wife, that was one of the things that kind of turned her away from me doing it because she didn't know how it would look once it's done. But once she started seeing the growth and the maintenance, she appreciated it more. It grew on her.
Yeah. I think my journey with it has been it's been amazing. It's actually taken me to different places. Um, I used to wish that, when I first started, I couldn't wait for my book to be full. And now my book is always full. And when I started to get professional athletes, that's when I knew I was in the game. Like I started off getting a few Vikings players. Like I got one Viking player and I did his hair, and then I ended up with like 10 Viking players.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
this was like 10 years ago. Um, and doing locks is real personal. It's not like going to some fast food spot, like, and it's like in and out. It's more like it's almost like a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a family type of deal because the average person don't really like a lot of people in their hair. People don't jump around when it comes to locks. Like start, you know, once somebody start with somebody, they don't really jump around. They stick with that person. So I have like two, I still have like two players that's like from the NFL. And then I also have, I used to do Simone Augusta's hair. She played for the Lynx and she
Okay.
was real cool. And she gave me a client that flew me out to Houston to start their locks. It was crazy. I was like, this is wild. And I
Wow.
flew out to California to do Simone's hair for a Nike commercial.
Wow.
And
Hmm.
Nike paid me. They flew me out. It was like a crazy experience when it came to locks. Just being somebody, I feel like I'm an artist with it, right? But it was a
Yeah, you
crazy
are.
experience being flown out for a commercial. It was like it was for like the World Cup or something. It was crazy because I was on the, I was all in the on the set with it. Like, what?
That's
This
smart.
is different, you
It had to
know.
be a great experience.
And then, doing the Vikings players. I'm just a hairstylist, but I'm doing, one of my top clients. He was like the captain of the team. So when they give you tickets, when the captain of the team give you tickets, their tickets are almost to the field. I was on the field
That's dope.
at a
Hmm.
football game, and people looking at me like T-Pain, right? I'm like, nah,
Damn.
nah.
Yo,
I was gonna mention, I wasn't say nothing.
People do
I know
that
that
to me,
shit
but
had
I'm
you
like,
tight.
hey man, I know, man. I'm like, take it easy, sir.
Right. Slow down.
Take it easy, man. But
Yo,
it's actually this lifestyle and doing locks has taken me to a lot of different places that I would have never imagined. You
That's
know,
dope.
So,
And I hope the norm for you down the line um is that you continue to get flown out, continue to get that celebrity like treatment, continue to build a successful empire for you and your family. I wish you nothing but the best for your business and your family, brother. For real. Great things come to good people. So, I think it's in line and you on that path of great success. Hope it keeps blowing up for
my
you.
I appreciate you. My next process with this is to I'm working on a documentary for Locks, so I'll be traveling around interviewing people. That's
Sure.
that's my
Wow. That
next
should be
wave
dope.
at the end of this is to just interview people about locks and I'll interview people that don't even have locks.
Right.
I want to hear
Right.
everybody's perspective.
Right.
So
I
That's
it's
want to
gonna
dope. I
start
hope
know.
national. What'd you
I
say?
want to know the difference between dreads and locks. Is there a difference?
I would say that's an interesting conversation because it depends on where you're from. Because
Right.
some people call them dreads and don't feel offended by it,
Right.
but some people are offended by the term dread because it's like a negative word
Right.
yeah,
to
I
a certain
figured that
degree.
because
Yeah,
at my job, a lot of the women have locks, and my mom had
right.
locks, my aunt has locks. But I heard a conversation recently. Actually, somebody referred to the woman at my job locks as dreads, and she corrected them, and it was kind of like an aggressive correction.
yeah,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
gets
So
like that.
I like
Yeah,
yeah. So I just was wondering,
I,
like, what's the difference? Is it because like
I,
dread something is to like the definition of dread? So
yep.
does it come from that? Does it come from that or
I
something
think
else?
I think like traditionally dreads, the term dread came from like the Rasta
Right,
movement with
right,
Bob Marley. Bob Marley didn't say locks. Bob Marley said dreads. You know what I
Good.
mean? But as time, as people evolve and consciousness and stuff like that, people are running away from negative words. And
right,
so the safest thing is to just say locks.
Yeah,
right,
Because somebody that's black that has locks and somebody white say dreads, they're gonna get corrected real fast
right,
because of it's a culture thing. Um, Personally, I'm neutral with it because I know what you're talking about when you say dreads, and I know what you're talking about when you say locks.
right,
It's like it's just a language thing.
right.
right.
For me, it was like I hear the word dread as a kid, and especially growing up in the islands, a lot of times you hear Natty Dread and all that other stuff. Most of the time, they
Yep.
never said anything. It's when I came back here, I started noticing the difference. And then I did a little research. The whole thing about how the Rastas came about was because they never cut their hairs and they just let it mat up. And because of that, because they were soldiers, that negative stigma of dreads being, dangerous or something like that. That's why a lot of people didn't really mess with Rastafarians because they always felt like they were killers and stuff like that. So maybe that's where the dread, the negative term of dread came from. I could be, I could be guessing, but the history is there.
Yeah, they
Right.
were when they came out of the mountains. The people that seen them said that looked dreadful,
Mm.
and so
Right.
exactly what you're saying. That's kind of where it kind of originated. But you know how certain terms that are considered negative become something that's you know
Yeah, we adopt it
Positive.
accept.
most of the time. Yeah.
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 So that's why a lot of times people are like, no, it's locks. It's like a quick correction.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
But
That's
that's
good to
I,
always a
know.
good conversation. That's always a good conversation.
yeah. So how did you feel when you first started growing yours?
My locks was inspired by hip hop. That's what I would say. Growing locks was like, you know, Helter Skelter, KRS-One, like people that had locks, Wyclef. It was like, man, you know what? I want to start my locks. And I actually originally started my locks in '96. And I was like a junior in high school, and the principal of my school, and I went to a black school. I'll never forget it, Mr. Horton. He was like, "Yeah, we not doing those twigs. You got to cut those."
Hmm.
I was like, "These are locks. These aren't twigs." And Mr. Horton
Yeah.
had an afro. I'm like, "Come on, man, you
Right.
you
That's
wildin',
crazy.
man." But I ended up, cutting them and starting them when I went to college, um, because I went to school in Minnesota, Morris, U of M Morris, which is like a small farm town type of. It wasn't nobody there cutting hair, so I'm like, this is my opportunity to start, and I started them myself, just twisting them, and I never, I haven't cut them since. I cut them shorter, but I never cut them off my original set from '98.
Okay. Speaking of farming, I also noticed with the other name DJ Green Thumb, you do have a garden. Want to touch on that?
Definitely want
Yeah,
Queen to talk about that too, 'cause I know that's her passion.
yeah, she gonna be right back. She taking care of her client. But you know how they say you got a green thumb. I be growing people's hair. So I got two green thumbs because I grow food and I grow hair. So
That's
that's why I
crazy.
call myself DJ Green Thumb.
It's a
And then
fire
I
name.
also
That's right.
I also went by Mike the Tiller because that was my primary job at the garden is to till. That's like the hard manual stuff that she need me to do.
Right.
But we've been in the garden. Well, I've been Queen introduced me to urban farming, and I guess I introduced her to this culture. So we kind of blended on that.
That's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I never really knew about. I mean, I kind of knew about growing some tomatoes or something like that at my great grandma's house, but I never grew everything. You know what I mean? We grow all types of stuff: cabbage, kale, collard green, mustard greens.
Hmm.
Even with the
Uh,
harsh winters that y'all have, like that doesn't that
yeah,
interfere with
yeah. We just have a short season. We actually grew some
right.
watermelon. We grew watermelon this year, and it kind of grew. We had watermelon at least about this big, which
Hmm.
is good for us. Ah, she about to flash, y'all.
Here. So this is purple kale,
That's beautiful.
Get down.
tomatoes,
Get down.
jalapeno, and this is that Trinidad scorpion pepper, the hottest one.
Oh, my
Trinidad
I
I
don't
wife
know. I
would
know
just
who's
love
knew
been
that
that.
shit
My,
had
getting
to be
these from
hot.
our
yo,
little market, but
my wife would love that, yo.
Oh
I had
yeah,
to say it out loud.
Yo,
That white
so
Yeah,
people
yeah,
too.
she loves hot pepper. She loves hot stuff.
I can send
Yeah,
you some of
yo.
these.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be
Please.
delighted. Oh, yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope.
Yes, because these are, it's hard for me to find these Trinidad scorpion ones. Yeah.
but weak.
So when
So
you
when
say
she,
hot, it's like wild hot, like super hot, like
Yeah, I feel like spice goes from black pepper to scorpion. And there's like different variations in between from like black, from the peppercorn to jalapeno, habanero, serrano, poblano, um, ghost pepper, the cayenne pepper, the scotch bonnet. Yeah,
Mhm.
it
What would
What
you
about
gets
the
compare that
Carolina
to?
one?
the Thai chili pepper.
I love Thai chili pepper.
Mhm.
Was it the
What would you
Carolina Reaper?
compare that pepper to?
Black
How hot
pepper.
is it? No, the pepper
how
you
hot is
have
this?
now.
The
How hot is that
Oh,
Trinidadian
one?
joint.
The Trinidad.
this is the
Yeah.
top of the scale. This red one,
Oh
this is
man,
the
Mm.
hottest. This
I'm
is
about to
more
put in the
closer
order.
to like black pepper to me.
I'm gonna put in the order, and I'm gonna have my wife try it.
Okay.
I'm serious. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
because she likes that
Yeah,
stuff.
Queen.
And
Yeah.
it's not.
We usually have our food here at the shop. A lot of
Okay.
stuff
Or
at the shop.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
y'all
I
be
was
doing
just
the chili
helping our.
cook-offs, right? Y'all be doing the chili
Yeah, yep.
cook-offs, the Omega Zulu every year. I'll be loving that. Like, yo, the chili be looking crazy.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I brought some, and the lady that just left, well, the last couple people that left, and they, dig out from the harvest that we set out there. Yeah, this is one of the places where we distribute the food. The other one is set up through a food shelf in Northeast Minneapolis. They come pick up our greens, and within urban ag, like people are growing in areas, but oftentimes they're growing in the inner city, and then they're taking the harvest and they're bringing it out to another city that's like 5+ miles away. And I have like
Mm.
a personal problem with that. So when the food shelf wanted to come get our food, I was like, you have to keep this in our neighborhood. And so the guy diligently looked for where they distribute within our neighborhood. And he's like, I'll personally pick it up and deliver it to these 3 high rises that we work with. And I was like, cool. And I was like, well, if you do that, then you can have our produce. But if you take it out to another suburb or a city, I'm not going to be okay with that, because I'm trying to make sure that the food stays within close proximity of the people, you know.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Otherwise, I should just go pick up, in my opinion, grow somewhere else. But if I'm growing in that neighborhood, my goal is to have the most impact in that neighborhood when it comes to food access and hunger and all of that stuff that people talk about.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
So and then we do like a farm stand at the garden whenever I'm there. The garden's open. People can come and get something freshly picked, which is cutting down on the transportation time, the transit
Hmm.
time. And you
Hmm.
can get the freshest. Um,
From the
yeah.
garden to the table.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's dope.
Yeah. Yep.
That's dope.
So the garden's been doing good. Trying to position ourselves to be more teaching, sharing the knowledge of this skill, and finding the resources to be able to give more produce away for free, and then creating more longevity with like the produce. So preserving it in a way people can still access it in January and February before we get to our next harvest again in the springtime. And then a major thing I've been taking part of this year is saving seeds. I've been learning with some of the elders out of DC that started a Ujamaa Cooperative Alliance. And their whole thing is to have Black growers growing and saving their seeds from whatever they're growing. And we're creating a seed bank. And then whenever we need foods, we or need seeds, we can access that from ourselves from this collective seed bank that we've created. Because we're finding that the seed companies on a federal level are starting to, capitalize or monopolize on the seed industry, starting to
Mm-hmm.
create, this um, inequity in seeds, or you can end up with GMO seeds that you don't want.
Right.
And you already probably are familiar with the food from our grocery store having less seeds. Like right now, there's a new line for lemons without seeds.
Mm.
But we don't want to be annoyed by the seeds because seeds is life. So everything that we grow, we save the seed from. So we've started our own personal seed bank. Plus, we contribute to the seed bank in our neighborhood. That our network, so our network in our neighborhood um, collectively has a seed bank, and then I'm growing seeds for a national seed bank. Yeah,
The
but
seed,
we're
when you say seed bank, part of my, I'm not too familiar with the process. I've been
Mhm.
trying to tap in and learn. When what do you have to do to
Yeah.
care for seeds? Is there like maintenance or specific care to take care of the seeds, or is it just storing them
Mhm.
somewhere? What is it?
Yeah, so whatever you grow, it could be anything. It could be a tree, a bush, a vine, grass, herbs, vegetables, fruit. Um, yeah, everything has a seed. And if you're interested in saving the seed from a plant, you got to figure out where the seed is in that plant and how to get it. Once you figure that out and you save the seed, seeds can last up to 20 years if they're properly stored. The
Mm,
best way to store them is in like a glass jar. You don't even have to be fancy like mason jars. You can just use a reused pickle, relish, spaghetti sauce jar,
mm,
storing it in your refrigerator is also good. Some people freeze them. It's also good because they really like cold, dry, dark places.
oh,
Um,
okay.
but I would only store them in like some type of paper or glass. I wouldn't put them in anything plastic because of the condensation, nothing
Hmm.
aluminum, just because of the contact with that type of material over time.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, but everything has a seed. Just got to figure out where it comes from. Like we added 2 new seeds to our bank this year, which is arugula and sage.
Hmm.
Yeah, which we didn't have before.
Do y'all
Yeah.
be growing eggplant?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would be interested in doing eggplant.
Yeah.
Like just yeah,
Oh, word.
definitely. Yeah. I
It's
like
it's
eggplant
not
a
Do,
even
lot.
it's not that hard either.
there's
Or
there's there's about 3 kinds that we've grown. One is like this. It's like this light purple and white striped one. Then there's
mm,
that dark, deep purple one. And then there's the Japanese ones where they're like dark purple, but they only get like kind of like this big, a little bit longer.
mm,
Hmm. Yep.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Those are, man, I didn't know how many people like eggplants till I started growing, till we started growing them. Yeah, they're real popular, more than you think.
Mm.
More
Yeah.
than you
yeah.
think.
I just feel like it's a great
Yeah.
alternative to meat, like it kind of,
Mhm.
tastes like meat, you know what I mean?
Like
So like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
good alternative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Trump is
can
on
send you
fire.
some of the little Japanese ones.
Me so.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
dope.
Egg-
Yeah, but
Eggplant
I've
soup is
been,
pretty good. My
I'm about to
grandparents
show y'all
plant
what I just
eggplant.
did. Here go what I just did to my clients here. Say what's up, famo.
y'all see
That's
Peace,
dope.
that?
sis.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's dope.
fire.
Don't play.
Word.
Fire. Yeah, the
He
brother's
said
doing a
don't
good
play.
job.
That's fire. Word.
So yeah, I didn't go to school for horticulture. I've been kind of building, I guess I would say, my own master's plan. Um, my grandmother taught me from the Boston projects, is how I started learning when I was little. And my mom was doing it, and I continued to do it when I moved out, had a little spot in my backyard. And then
This frankincense.
6 seasons ago is when I decided to do it like at large in a empty lot. In an urban setting. I was really working with men doing a writing group. I was just looking for a different space to get together and writing, and was inspired to like merge that with a garden setting. And I'm like, I know how to do that, and I know how to write. We can do that.
Right.
So that's how it originally, our Roots Garden started to develop. And then it just, with the pandemic, just took us on this food justice, thing. But the garden sits in the neighborhood that I grew up in when my family moved here to Minneapolis. So we moved to North Minneapolis. And just like any other city, like Chicago, like Philly, like Oakland, it has the same disparities and inequities. It's another disenfranchised urban city with tax delinquent lots, just like the one that our garden is growing on. It sat vacant for 15 years. Could have been
Mm,
providing food for the block this whole time. It sat vacant.
right.
We come along, plant the seeds, and now we're there. And my family's been involved, and Mike's mom's been involved, and we won like a family farm award for Hennepin County. That's the county our garden is in. But my whole task is to share the knowledge and also speak up on the things that I see, in our neighborhood, and ways that these gardens can really help us be more self-sufficient and more healthier as individuals and as a community. So I've been working on like getting this public health certificate so I can really use the words that they use to really speak to these um, social determinants of health. So all the things we've been talking about, like for a black or brown person to be well or to have a good job, like there's so many other things that play along with that. Like what does it mean for me to go to the hospital? Like I have to have transportation, or if I have transportation, I have to have enough money or income to pay for parking while I'm there, because they charge for parking here. So it's all of those things that can be barriers for somebody actually being healthy. So coming at that and really looking at the neighborhood and the demographics where this garden sits, and talking about that on a larger scale with the rest of the network has been like really powerful, because urban ag in North Minneapolis has evolved since 2010. And I'm working on a side research project about the main food corridor that had one of our major interstates kind of come through that neighborhood and displace a lot of people, which also made people divest from the neighborhood, and then became what everybody saw in the 80s and 90s with the increase in crime and vacant properties. And it's like the only thing that ended up staying was like liquor stores and gun stores. Like it's same thing happened here in North Minneapolis. It's almost like they had this model, you know what I mean? And then they just
Mm-hmm.
replicated it in every city. So I've been working on this research to talk about the history of this main boulevard that's in this neighborhood, and particularly because it's littered with all of these fried chicken places. Like you can get Wendy's, Taco Bell, and then like some Chinese food, and then like 10 different types of fried chicken, and it's ridiculous to me. because you're looking at this neighborhood and you're like, how does this food corridor shape the health of this community? Like, how's that impacting people's health? Like, it's
Hmm.
predisposing them to like diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease. Like, you could see the link between fast food and the health disparities that exist in that community. And so I'm not trying to put people out of business, but I do want to look at the policies that have been in place and to inspire the community to kind of think about, can we create a policy around just how many fast food places can we really have here if we're really wanting to make changes to increase people's health? Like, if we're really serious about that, we should have a policy that limits, the amount of the fast food, at least for fried chicken. Oh my goodness.
It's funny that you say
But
that because I'm sorry, sister. It's funny that you say that because you have a lot of people that probably won't even eat vegetables, but they'll eat fast food quicker than anything. Um, Kudos to you, and now
mhm.
I understand what you meant when you said generational farmer. So definitely respect that. Um, but it's
Yeah.
also funny you mentioned, how every corner you have a liquor store, gun store. Um, Funny when I think about it, New York, we have very strict gun laws. So, what they might not have for a gun store, they might have a church and stuff like that. So they change around certain things and make sure they have that in our communities.
Mhm.
Right, right, right.
Yep.
Speaking of
Yep.
those fast food restaurants, when I'm in Harlem, they got like 5 McDonald's in Harlem. You know what I mean? And
Oh
like,
wow.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Some real
in
close to each other.
Yeah,
Harlem is big, but it's really not that big to have five,
that's a lot.
4 or 5 McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that,
Mhm.
throw in 2 or 3 Burger Kings. You
And the
know,
bodegas.
2 Wendy's, the bodega selling the chopped cheese and all the other
Hmm.
poison that they offering. The
The
bodegas
five
be
subways.
selling. The bodegas in New York City, they will sell whatever sandwich you want, right? And they also sell crack pipes. Like they sell glass stems to smoke crack.
What?
Like, yeah,
Oh
like
my
Right.
goodness.
razor wire. I know y'all seen it. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah,
don't
you
it's
live
go
on
in New
into
like the
York
corner
anymore, but
stores.
right,
yeah.
regular
Yeah, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the bodegas are the
Absolutely.
corner stores. So it's like, they
Hmm.
got all the poison. If you don't want to ingest it, food wise, if it's not for food, then here's the access to the drugs.
Yeah, pick your
Destroy
spots.
Hmm.
yourself that way.
Yeah. And in
Yeah.
their mind, they're
Yep.
probably
You know.
thinking they're doing
Hmm.
it safely.
Right. I
Hmm.
mean, it's just too much access to the poison. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and we need to redirect that. And I think y'all are doing
Hmm.
the job, and
Hmm.
hopefully this message is hitting people and it's inspiring them to do that as well. Have you ever thought about doing like a YouTube channel, showing people how to do this?
Yes, I think I'll have more time to do that after my son graduates. He's my last one. And then I think I'll be looking for more ways to spend my time. So I'll be able to do more content where I'm sharing the knowledge of how to do that. But yeah, encouraging people to be self sufficient and tapping into their consumer power. Cause some people just feel like that's why I'm doing the research. Cause I'm like, is it here? Cause this is how we eat? Or are we eating like this because it's here? Because we gotta remind people of the power of choice that they have. They don't you don't have to. And I know people say like I just have to, like, but you don't. Like, you do have a choice. Um Fast food can look different. Like, fast food can be going into the produce department and getting you some fruits and vegetables, like the little bite-sized carrots or apple and banana
Hmm.
Yeah.
is way better, cost you less than what you would spend on this new so-called dollar menu. But
Right.
yeah, but it's letting people know, like, you don't have to buy soda all the time. You can click those choices off and choose the right ones for yourself, and it's okay. Nobody's gonna talk about you anymore. It's the thing now. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's all
Mm-hmm.
good. Like, because when I was younger, people used to call me a rabbit. And I mean,
Right.
and now they're like, dang, you still look like the same person in high school. Like,
Right.
yeah, but I was a rabbit. But now
Right.
you see me 20 years later, and now you're
Now they
like,
want to be
damn,
the
I should have
rabbit.
ate my carrots.
Speaking of
Right.
rabbits, I'm actually thinking about
Yeah.
eating some carrots tomorrow.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the beta carotene. That's really good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, in this, that's the thing. People don't realize like um green tomatoes are like 96% water, and you wouldn't even think so, but yeah, they're 96% water and they got really good fiber, which is really good for you on a daily basis.
Is there a difference in
That's
taste
dope.
It's
between
green
green?
tomatoes is something people kind of cook with.
Is there a difference in the taste between green and red tomatoes?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the real true green tomato is ripe when it's green. And then when it starts to turn red, that's when you know you're running out of time. And then a red
Mm.
tomato is ripe when it's red. Like it's gotta go through the green phase. When it gets red, then it's just right. And the difference in the taste is the green tomato would be a little bit more bitter. It's almost like a tomatillo. If you ever had a tomatillo, I feel like tomatillos have like this flavor, this like herbal type of flavor that's bomb. Like it makes the best salsa. And green
Mm.
tomatoes they come close to that.
Mm.
Mm.
Some people, I had one of my neighbors I was delivering green tomatoes to. She cuts hers up in like cubes with eggplant, and she sautés that and lays it over some rice. And she loves it like that.
That
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
sounds dope.
That sounds like something my
Yep.
grandmother would do. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
I was
Yeah.
like, word? That's how you were using those? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I love to hear how people are using the food. I love to hear how people use, like I go and I source free plants and I give those away. Seeds, like I connect people to the resources because I'm like, I can't be the owner of this knowledge and resources because if I don't make it out here tomorrow, y'all gonna be in trouble and you're gonna be like, oh Lord, she died with all the knowledge. Like so I'm
Yeah.
trying to share this and let people know because there's money now on the state level, the federal level, like they even like people have been persevering through this Black Farmer Fund and making sure these elders like get their land and their money. They've been working hard on that. That some of that stuff is actually turning over if you look at like the elder farmers and how they're actually forgiving their debt and stuff. And so in the beginning of this, people were like, I couldn't really get like my people out into the garden. They're like, I don't want to do that slave labor. And I had like more Caucasian volunteers, and I was like, something's got to change. And now things are, starting to change a little bit where I'm seeing more Black and brown people come out and they're growing and they're not afraid to be out there in the sun and you're seeing a change statewide and federally where they're really trying to open up to urban ag and recognize it as a necessary component to agriculture and putting money behind that. So if people want to get in the city that they're at, the water's warm. And you can definitely contact me if you want to like get connected into the network or resources in your city. Yeah.
How can people reach y'all? Because I think, y'all drop so much information and so much culture that people may want to tap in with y'all and connect with y'all. Do y'all
Definitely.
have any like social media or like ways for people to reach out to y'all?
Yeah, so for me personally, they can find me on the gram at Queen Fry, Frye, the number 8. And then the garden is on Instagram at R, the letter R, Roots Garden. And we also have a website, rrootsgarden.org. Yeah. And I'm kind of slow to my DMs because you heard I'm an MC, an accountant, distance runner, mother. So just give me a second to respond. I had some lady get mad at me because I literally responded to her email after 5 years, and she was like, 5 years, and I was like, well, I mean, I replied.
Uh, You lucky they was alive. You lucky they was alive after those 5 years.
Now that they
That's
following her,
crazy.
now that they following instructions.
My IG handle is MIC PEACE 101 on Instagram. And then Michael Kuykendall KUYKINDALL on Facebook. It's easy to reach out to me. I'll see it eventually, is what I tell people.
Now, if somebody sees if somebody wants to get some work done for their hair, they could tap in with you through there, or like if they want to see
Yep,
some of your work, it's all on the IG.
it'll be on I don't have a. I'm working on my website right now for my shop that has a gallery of pictures because I got all my pictures in person. Most of my styles and stuff that's on Facebook is on Locstar's page, which is where I was working at before I got my own place. But I do have a Facebook page. It's called From the Roots on Facebook. Um, it don't really pop up fast because it's kind of new. I don't know. I try to search it, but it don't pop up fast right now. Facebook must want me to pay some money or something.
Right, right, right. But
I gotta
we
get them
really
a couple dollars.
yeah, you might have to. We really appreciate
Yep.
y'all time, y'all energy.
Well,
We
definitely.
appreciate you.
Y'all are both
It's
incredible. Since I had the privilege of getting to know y'all a little bit, I always say great things to Reyes about y'all, and I just want to give you the props, the respect, the love that y'all deserve, and I wish you both the best in all you do. I'm so glad that I get to see y'all semi often with our Zulu Union meetings. I want the
Yeah.
family to continue to learn and receive that type of beautiful energy that y'all omit. It's a beautiful energy, and I'm blessed to receive it from y'all. Um, our platform is y'all platform. Anytime y'all got something to say or want to express, or whatever, Spears and Mike's is always open for y'all. Y'all could be on as many shows as you want, 10 episodes
That's a
in a row,
fact.
whatever. It's for y'all.
Thank
I,
To
you. We
all the
Absolutely.
love
I
you.
Zulus,
have
We
a
make anything.
I
right?
wanted to share what I had upcoming for Omega Zulu. I mean, it's gonna take some grant writing, but my next what I plan on doing is making a mobile studio, kind of like get an RV or some type of bus situation to move around and to kind of get the kids that want to do record real fast or do like a a mobile podcast, pull up on the block, get the kids involved, have a DJ system in there, music, and then get up out of there before the ops come type of deal. I'm cracking jokes, but
Yeah, keep it safe.
but
Keep it
kind of just
safe.
right, just have a mobile situation that we can actually pull up on the kids because I think Best Buy got this program here where they got it's like a tech thing and it's like a couple different spots they have over the Twin Cities where they let the kids come in and use studio and do different things. And I want to just do a mobile version of that where we can actually go to the kids and say, yo, y'all want to record something real quick?
Right.
Cool, record it and get up out of there, and just be mobile with it on the Omega Zulu side and kind of introduce them to the different spots that they can come to the shop. Because right now, what I'm setting up at the shop is I don't know, we got like the little DJ situation over here. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
we got the DJ. Oh yeah, we got the DJ situation. So we're gonna start teaching people how to DJ MC and stuff like that. I want to try to set up a situation here where we're doing that at the shop. But then I want a mobile. It's hard to get people to come to a new space without going to their space first. So I think it'd be a good idea to, get the money together to have a mobile situation.
That's dope. Y'all ever think about doing
Yeah.
some open mics and stuff like that in y'all space?
Uh, Eventually, yeah, because we were doing a Woo Wednesday. We was doing a Woo Wednesday every third Wednesday of the month, and we were kind of doing like a Woo karaoke. But the culture of Twin Cities is a lot of people from Minneapolis don't go over the river. They don't like going. And Minneapolis people don't go into St. Paul, and St. Paul people don't just easily go into Minneapolis. It's kind of like it's a crazy thing
I do.
because
I go wherever I need to go.
it's
Tell
crazy
them,
because
sis.
I'm from Chicago, and it's about the same size as the Twin Cities. So I'm just looking like, man, it's the North and the South Side. Like it's not that big of a space to be like I'm not going over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
But it's something that we can do in the future. Yep. Yeah. Open mics. It's a couple people that still do open mics around here in the Twin Cities. So.
That's dope.
Sometimes it's hard to get people to participate. That's why I feel like I just want to go to the people that I want to target. I want to target the youth here because the youth here, I don't think they think people care. You know what I mean? And I think if we get out there in person and kind of get them to do something that they would actually enjoy doing, I think we can get their attention. So that's like my next thing that I want to do. Information.
Yeah, I mean that's dope.
Salute. Salute.
We got to invest in the youth, especially a brother and a sister like y'all, like with y'all energy. It would be great for y'all to be out there with some of these youth, so they could have like somebody to like you to lean on, someone like Queen to lean on and guide them. And too often our people don't got nobody to turn to, like positive role model wise, where kind of like the only positive role models be some like an athlete, you know what I mean, like someone that's playing sports in school and he got one foot in the streets himself, you know what I mean. So like people like y'all that are super in tune with so much information and righteous and positive, giving those youth that jewels, the vibes, it's going to be very fruitful, and it's very necessary that we interact with the youth, mentor the youth. I think people are scared of the youth. I think that's honestly what it is. But like we were all youth ourselves, and we had our era too, where we were maybe out of control or not as refined as who we are right now. So how did we get good? Somebody influenced us, whether it be our mother, our father, our uncles, our aunties, whether it was the big bro in the streets that gave us the jewels or the knowledge of self, whatever it may be. Somebody has to give the youth the information, somebody has to give them the guidance. And through hip hop, we got a tool. We have a tool that reaches everybody, black, brown, red, yellow, white. Everybody loves hip hop, and if you're giving them an opportunity to record right in their own little area, that would be incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's
Absolutely.
That's my vision for like the next couple of years is to be able to do that because I think we can really make an impact that way.
Just tell them don't go live dropping the addy to the trailer. I'm still paying the note on
Exactly.
this. Y'all can't be getting this trailer shot up or
Right.
destroyed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Nah, but positive vibes and positive energy, man. I believe that, y'all could do everything that you plan to do. I hope that we could support it as best as we can. And I hope we could replicate some of these things that you're doing out there here in New York City. Or it inspires other people that are just listening to, get out and do some of these beautiful things that y'all are doing, man. Once again,
Mhm.
thank you for coming on Spears and Mike's. I hope to have
Yeah,
y'all
thank
back.
you.
I know we're gonna have y'all back.
Salute.
Of course.
You know, And respect to both of you and your families. Stay blessed and stay healthy.
Yeah. Peace, peace. Thank
Peace.
you.
Yeah, peace,
Peace.
Thank you
peace.
for real. Big respect and big love. All right, y'all. Peace to the Omega Zulus. Peace to the brother Mike One, and peace to Queen.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, peace.